The first scream tore through the night as Kola's feet slipped on wet earth. "Run!" someone shouted behind him. He didn't look back. He couldn't. The sound of the village bell was already ringing. Slow, heavy rung. Midnight bells were never rung. Never. His chest burned as he pushed forward, dodging shadows, breath tearing in and out of him. "It's opening," a woman cried. The ground seemed to vibrate beneath Kola's feet. Dogs howled in panic, pulling against ropes, their cries sharp and frightened. Somewhere ahead, a child was crying for his mother. Somewhere behind him, someone fell. Then the bell stopped. Silence slammed into the village. Kola froze. Slowly, against every warning drilled into him since childhood, he turned his head. The shrine stood at the center of the clearing, just as it always had, stone, ancient, unmoving. But tonight something was wrong. The carved eyelids trembled. "No. Kola whispered." The stone cracked with a sound like bone snapping. And the shrine opened its eyes. A low murmur rose from the villagers who had gathered at a distance, their bodies shaking, hands clasped, lips moving in frantic prayers. "Cover your face," Elder Bamadil shouted. "Nobody look at it." Too late. Kola felt it before he understood it. The weight of a gaze, heavy and cold, pressing into his chest. His knees buckled. He dropped to the ground, heart pounding so hard it hurt. Beside him, his friend Sadiq whispered, "It's awake. By the ancestors, it's awake." The shrine's eyes were not glowing. They were not red or blazing as the old stories said. They were dark, wet, and watching. Watching them. Someone screamed again. Then the eyes closed. Just like that. The night exhaled. By morning, the village of Ibooku pretended nothing had happened. Children were sent to fetch water. Women swept their compounds. Men gathered to argue over palm wine and empty bravery. But no one went near the shrine. Kola sat on a low stool outside his mother's hut, staring at his hands. They wouldn't stop shaking. "You saw it," his mother said quietly. He looked up. Everyone saw it. She shook her head. "Not like you did." He swallowed. "It was looking at me." She didn't deny it. That scared him more than if she had laughed. "Eat," she said, pushing a bowl toward him. "I can't." She sat beside him. "Kola, the shrine doesn't open its eyes without reason." "What reason?" he snapped. "What reason is enough for that?" Her voice dropped. "A debt." Later that day, the elders called a meeting. No drams. No ceremony. Just fear pressed into human shapes. Elder Bamadil cleared his throat. "What happened last night was a disturbance." "A disturbance?" Sadiq shouted. People were screaming. "Mind your tone," another elder warned. "Kola stut." The shrine opened its eyes. "Say it." Silence followed. Finally, Elder Bamadil nodded once. "Yes, it did." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. "What does it want?" a woman asked. "What did we do wrong?" another cried. Bamadil lifted his hand. "Enough. The shrine has rules. It always has." "Then tell us the rules," Kola said. The elder's eyes lingered on him. "You know them. Say them." Bamadil sighed. "No one walks at midnight. No one calls a name in the dark. And no one looks into the shrine's eyes." Sadiq laughed bitterly. "It opened them. How are we supposed to avoid looking?" "That," Bamadil said softly, "is not our concern." Kola felt heat rise in his chest. Someone always disappears when it opens its eyes, doesn't it? No one answered. That night, sleep refused to come. Kola lay awake, staring at the ceiling, listening to the sounds of the village settling into uneasy quiet. Every small noise made his heart jump. Then he heard it. "Kola." He sat up. "Kola." The voice was faint, stretched thin like it came from very far away. "Sadiq," he whispered. No answer. The voice came again. Closer this time. "Kola." He swung his legs off the mat and stepped outside before fear could stop him. The moon hung low, pale and weak. The path toward the shrine seemed darker than the rest of the village. "Kola," his mother hissed from inside. "Where are you going?" "I heard someone." "Come back." But his feet kept moving. Halfway to the clearing, he saw Sadiq standing alone. "Sadiq," Kola whispered. "What are you doing out here?" Sadiq turned slowly. His eyes were wide, unfocused. It called me, he said. Kola's stomach dropped. Called you how? My name, Sadiq replied. From the shrine. That's impossible. Sadiq smiled, but there was no joy in it. That's what they said about the stories too. A deep, low sound rolled across the ground. The shrine's eyelids twitched. Kola grabbed Sadiq's arm. We have to leave. Now. Sadiq didn't resist. It's already chosen. The eyes opened just a little. Enough. Kola felt tears sting his eyes as fear tightened around his throat. Whatever the elders had buried, whatever truth they were hiding, it was no longer sleeping. And if this story is already pulling you in, don't forget to like this video so YouTube knows you want more stories like this, and subscribe to the channel to stay with us till the very end of this journey. Because the shrine was awake now, and it was watching. Kola did not sleep at all that night. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw the shrine's gaze pressing into him, heavy and patient, as if it had all the time in the world. When dawn finally came, it felt undeserved. Sadiq was gone. His mat lay untouched, his sandals still by the doorway. His mother sat on the ground, rocking back and forth, pulling dust into her wrapper. They said he went to the river, she muttered. They said boys do foolish things. Kola stood frozen. He didn't go to the river. She looked up sharply. What do you know? I know it called him. Her wail cut through the compound, raw and breaking. Other women gathered, whispering prayers, touching her shoulders, avoiding Kola's eyes. By noon, the elders announced that Sadiq had left the village. No one believed them. Kola pushed through the gathering crowd and faced Elder Bamadil. You're lying. The old man's jaw tightened. Mind yourself. The shrine took him. Bamadil leaned closer, his voice low. Watch your words, boy. Words wake things. Kola left bitterly. It's already awake. That evening, his mother finally spoke the truth she had been carrying like a stone. They promised it would never open again, she said. Kola looked at her. Who promised? The elders. Our fathers. Their fathers before them. He sat down slowly. Promised who? She hesitated. Then, the shrine. His chest tightened. Why? Her eyes filled. Because it was hungry. The words hung between them. They made a pact, she continued. A long time ago. One life, every generation. Voluntary. Honorable. No fear. In return, the village would prosper. And did it? Kola asked. She nodded. For a time. What changed? They grew afraid. They skipped a generation. Lit. Buried the names. Told stories instead. Kola stood. So now it's collecting. She grabbed his wrist. Don't say that. It took Sadiq. It hasn't finished, she whispered. That night, the dreams began. People woke screaming. Names were whispered through walls. Children cried without knowing why. Kola dreamed of standing before the shrine, its eyes open wide, reflecting faces he recognized. Some alive. Some long dead. Why him? Kola asked in the dream. The shrine didn't answer. It only watched. The next morning, another person was missing. This time, it was Elder Bamadil's nephew. The village broke. Men shouted in the square. Women wept openly. No one pretended anymore. You lied to us. Someone screamed at the elders. You fed our children. Bamadil slammed his staff into the ground. Silence. Kola stepped forward. There's only one way this ends. All eyes turned to him. The pact, he said. You broke it. You fix it. And who decides that? An elder snapped. The shrine already has. Bamadil studied Kola carefully. It looked at you. Kola didn't deny it. A heavy pause followed. You are not offering him, Kola's mother shouted, pushing through the crowd. You are not. Bamadil's voice softened. No one is offering anyone. That's a lie, she said. That's all you know how to do. That night, the elders gathered privately. By morning, a decision had been made. They would reopen the pact. But not with blood. With truth. They would confess the lie publicly. They would speak the names that had been erased. They would admit their fear. Will that be enough? Kola asked. Bamadil looked tired. We pray it is. At midnight, the village gathered at a distance from the shrine. No running this time. No screaming. Just trembling silence. Bamadil stepped forward. We failed you, he said aloud. We broke our word. Names were spoken. One by one. Voices shaking. Tears falling. The shrine's eyes remained closed. Hope flickered. Then a whisper moved through the crowd. Kola. His blood ran cold. Kola. The elders froze. That's not part of it, Bamadil said. The shrine's eyes opened halfway. The ground pulsed. Kola stepped forward before anyone could stop him. No, his mother cried. He raised his hands. It's not them you want. The gaze locked onto him fully now. I see you, he said, voice breaking. I know why you're angry. But you taught us fear. The shrine spoke. Not with sound but with pressure. With memory. You forgot. Tears streamed down Kola's face. We remembered. We came back. Too late. The crowd gasped as the air thickened. What does it want? Someone sobbed. Kola whispered. A keeper. The shrine's eyes softened just slightly. I will close if you stay. His mother screamed his name. He turned to her. I am sorry. She ran forward, but the elders held her back, crying with her. If this story is touching you, Kola's voice echoed in the narration. Please comment below and let us know how you think it should end. Your voice matters here. The shrine's eyes narrowed. Midnight deepened. And the choice was no longer theoretical. The silence stretched until it hurt. Kola stood alone before the shrine. The weight of its attention pressing against his chest like a hand that refused to let go. The villagers behind him felt distant, unreal. As though he had already stepped halfway out of their world. Stay, his mother cried. You mean die? He turned to her slowly. Not die. Guard. Bamadil stepped closer. What does that mean? Kola shook his head. I don't know. It hasn't shown me everything. The shrine's eyes did not blink. They waited. You don't have to do this, Sadiq's younger sister sobbed from the crowd. Please. Kola closed his eyes. For a moment, he was just a boy again, chasing goats, laughing without fear, believing elders always told the truth. Then he opened them. If I stay, he said, you stop taking people. The pressure shifted. Yes. A sound moved through the village like a held breath finally released. And if he refuses? Bamadil asked quietly. The ground pulsed once. The answer was clear enough. Kola's mother broke free and fell at his feet. I carried you for 9 months, she cried. I buried your father. I cannot bury you too. He knelt and held her face. You won't bury me. That's a lie, she whispered. No, he said gently. That's the old way of thinking. Her hands shook as she touched his cheeks. I will never see you again. He hesitated. Then, you'll see me every day. Just not as your son. The shrine's eyes narrowed slightly as if amused. Bamadil removed his cap. This should have been us. Kola met his gaze. It should have. But you were afraid. The old man nodded, shame heavy in his eyes. Midnight passed. Nothing dramatic happened. No wind. No fire. No sandev. The shrine's eyes slowly closed. The pressure lifted. The village exhaled. It's over, someone whispered. But Kola didn't move. Why hasn't he come back? A woman asked. Bamadil swallowed. Because he's already begun. Days passed. Kola did not return home. He slept near the shrine, ate simple meals left at a distance, spoke little. The elders tried to talk to him, but the shrine's presence pressed them back. Children were warned not to approach, though they watched him with wide, curious eyes. Is he dead? One whispered. No, another said. He's listening. At night, Kola heard things. Not voices. Not words. Memories. The shrine showed him what it had seen over centuries. Promises made, promises broken, fear disguised as wisdom. He learned when to speak and when silence mattered more. The village changed. People spoke more carefully. Elders stopped hiding behind tradition. Confessions came easier. Arguments ended quicker. Fear loosened its grip. Months later, a traveler passed through and pointed at the shrine. It feels different, he said. The villagers nodded. We have a keeper now. One evening, Cola's mother stood at the edge of the clearing. "You're thinner," she said. He smiled faintly. "You still worry too much." She laughed through tears. "Some things don't change." They stood in silence. "Are you lonely?" she asked. He thought for a long time. "No. Just awake." She reached into her wrapper and placed a small bundle on the ground. "Food. Clean cloth. I'll come again tomorrow," she said. He nodded. "I know." As she turned to leave, the shrine's eyes twitched. Her breath caught. "Is it?" "It's fine," Cola said softly. "It just dreams sometimes." Years passed. Children grew. Elders died. New stories replaced old lies. The shrine never opened its eyes again. Until one night. A new moon. A stranger stood at the edge of the village, ignoring every warning, walking too close, staring too long. Cola felt the shift instantly. He stepped forward. "Stop." The stranger laughed. "It's just stone." The shrine's eyelids trembled. Cola raised his voice. "Last warning." The man hesitated, then backed away. The eyes settled. Cola exhaled slowly. The balance held. And if you've stayed with this story till now, thank you. Stories like this survive because you listen. If this moved you, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Cola made the right choice, or would you have chosen differently? Because some shrines don't open their eyes to destroy. They open them to remind us. And somewhere at the edge of memory and fear, the shrine waited. Watching. Always watching.